Welcome back. So in this video it's pretty much about the mind map, what I call the mind map, or when I say across the videos, when I move my mind. And in this video so many people have asked me about it that I've had to create a video on what I mean by moving the mind. So we're going to have to do a little bit of a backstory, because when I first started developing, it would have been just sitting in my front room on a Monday evening, and I would set time aside, you know, from 7 till 10, and I would just sit. I've done a video on it on developing on my own, and I would just set this time aside and I would just invite the spirit world to join me, and they would join me. They would maybe give me some emotions or some colours or a journey of the mind, and gradually I had the idea of trance or entrancement, which I'm going to have to do a video on also, but for the sake of this video I'll carry on with the story at this point. So I would sit my time aside and I'd become familiar. It's very difficult at first because you're so active and you're so new to it, and you're almost waiting for this like light bulb moment to happen, when in actual fact, you know, all the books and all the people that I was seeing they were just elaborating. They were making it so special when all I had to do was still my mind. And so what happens is we go to sit and we get kind of excited about it. Of course you are. You're going to join the spirit world, and you know the feelings in your body start to change. You become more and more sensitive, like hypersensitive, and you're looking for these calling cards that you've been told about. You're waiting for the webbing on the face, or the cold shivers, or the hairs on your arms, and all that kind of stuff. But it is just part of the mind. So once I got used to the idea of sitting for maybe an hour, maybe 3 hours, I started to get like a measuring stick for it. Me and my colleague use this term quite a lot, and I think I may have done a video on the measuring stick. And what happens is that you start getting these markers, you know, they don't need a second thought, you're aware. Without moving all your attention to this awareness. This feels normal. This feels like where I was last time I sat. This is very familiar. And the moment it starts becoming familiar, you stop doing all these double checks. The first thing you do when you're new is you're like this level of excitement and right, I've got to remember that, and I've got to log this, and and by doing that you're moving your mind into a much more active state. This would be known as the beta state, and so everything's very analytical and logical, and what you know and what you're learning, and so all of this is just firing off, sending signals out all the time, keeping your brain very active. So what we do is we're trying to alter the state. We're trying to move it from the beta state to the alpha state. I'm going to flick a chart on the screen for you. But we're trying to move the megahertz of the brain activity into an altered state. And to do this, you'll sit in your power, or you'll sit in a meditative state to alter the brain activity. And basically what that means is you're trying to slow down the thought process. You're trying to not be as active in your mind as you are in your everyday life. Now to do this, is the practice. This is what the sitting in the power is. This is what your meditation is, or real meditation. A lot of these guided meditations are taking you on a journey, keeping the mind very active. So although you're in an altered state, you're not in a proper meditative state, because the brain activity is still very high. Now see the car, now see the dog, now see the man, and you're looking for it. You're very active within your mind, and because of that activity in your mind, it's going to alter the state. So once we get familiar with this, you know, I feel relaxed, I feel heavy, I feel like I'm in a good place. This becomes the measure. So it's very familiar. I know that I got there, not by monitoring it as I'm going down, but just through being familiar with it, you recognise this is the place that I need to be. So now fast forward 2 years, and you've done that every week for for 2 years, so what's that, let's say 100 times, you start to become familiar with it, you know where you're going. And so I had my measuring stick, I knew where I needed to be, what I needed to do, and then I could have my conversation with my team, or start to move the mind into a more theta state, trying to invoke the entrancement. And because of this, you learn the different states. You learn about the beta states, the alpha states, the theta states, and the delta states. With all this information that I had, I was invited by King's College. Me and my colleague, Sheila French, we were undergoing studies for voices, schizophrenia, and all that kind of stuff, where we would have to be wired up on our heads, look incredibly ridiculous, and I do have a photo for it. You will see it. And they put this funny gel on your head as well, and so as it's sort of connecting, you can hear it crackle like inside your head. It was the strangest of feelings. But they were explaining how the altered states are going to be, and of course I knew what the altered states was. I just didn't have a name for it. I didn't understand it. I didn't know the terminology for it. So as they're explaining to me during and after, it was kind of blasé, you know. It was, yeah, I kind of knew that. I kind of get that. And my whole setup with mediumship is I don't need science to back it. If I can help science, that's wonderful. But I don't need science to say that's right or that's wrong, because I know my feeling, my awareness, where I am and where the information is coming from. Science is trying to give it a measure, trying to duplicate it every time. So my whole setup is me and my team, and if it helps science, great. If not, then I'm not bothered. And so it's this understanding of how my mind went. So as I'm on the monitors, I've got my head cap on, and they're asking me to sit there in a very normal state, which I'll show you a photo of, and then asking me to kind of go into a deeper state, so an altered state, more meditative, that kind of stuff, to then giving me the permission to go and play with the spirit world. They literally said, right, now do your thing, Charlie, and off I went. And I think you'll agree from the photos that should be on the screen, there is clear indication of when these times were coming. So when I say to you, all you have to do is move your mind, I have the measure, I know where I need to be, I know what I need to do, and this is because of 2, maybe 3 years intensive work on moving my mind, that I now do it to a breath. I take one breath and I know the measure, I move my mind there and I have it, I've got it. But this is because it's familiar. Now, any kind of spiritual undertaking in development for self, whether it be yogi or yoga, there will be this, they have this same setup. They know where they need to be. They know where they need to go. And mediumship is no different. There is going to be no light bulb moment. It's just that you are aware. You're aware how active your mind is, how passive your mind is, how your body is, how your sensitivity is. And because I have the measure, I know exactly where I need to go. And so that's why I've done this video, to maybe help a few students to understand their mind, their space, what they're up to, and where, and from this video you should be able to say, yeah, I do that, and so now I just got to get the measure. I haven't got to go through this process of steps or journeys. You've got the measure, so now just move your mind. And that's where the problem is in mediumship today in 2020. It is that you are taught that you have to sit for 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes prior to a reading or prior to a demonstration to walk yourself down into this receptive mode, this altered state where the spirit world can impregnate the mind with ideas, or you can just get your measure and there I am and away I go. So I hope that helps some of you. I'm not sure it will. People keep asking for it, and it's very difficult to get it over in a video. But I've tried, and if there's any questions off the video, you can drop it in the comments. I'm intrigued. Has anyone else sat for like a religious kind of time? Mine was every Monday for sure. And no matter where I was in the world, Monday I sat for the spirit world. And then I had my circles on like Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'd gradually get increased to doing readings on the other days and demonstrations on the other. We're a little bit like that when we're new to it. We just almost push ourselves to the point of burnout. So, but yeah, I'll be interested to know if you're doing this, to find your measure, to get your measuring stick. That's where I receive best. That's how I do. Same with what you're drinking or what you're eating. Some people are better after a full meal. Some people are terrible after a full meal. And again, I'll be interested in your take on that. I'm one of those that if I eat, nightmare. I'm having it feels like I'm stuck. So yeah, looking forward to your response to this. Hopefully it's helped some of you in the process of understanding what I mean by move my mind to the spirit world. I move to where I have the measure, and now here we go. So like the video if you liked it, get in the comments as always, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.